Welcome to Reality Deer Management. Now, most of us across the country are pretty much finished deer hunting. Fortunately, we live in the state of Ohio that we have a very liberal hunting season regulations where we can hunt into January and then the first part of February. But does that mean you just park your butt on the couch and watch TV and watch web shows like ours? Absolutely not. It's time to get serious if you're serious about deer management, and it's time to roll up your sleeve and get some stuff done. And hopefully today we cover some of that for you. So stay tuned. You're watching Reality Deer Management. Well, here we are. I have Mr. Tim LeMay with Wildlife Habitat Improvement. Tim does a lot of the work that I recommend to my clientele, such as tree planting and food plot planting and chainsaw work and everything else in between. But Tim, what's nice about Tim, he's very mechanically inclined, and where I'm all thumbs when it comes to a lot of the maintenance stuff. And that's something that we want to address with you today, is that, you know, it's not time to sit down on the couch and wait till spring to get this stuff going. Now's the time to be active when you're managing deer. It's 365 days, and a lot of this stuff is our equipment. So we're just basically going to skim through shortly some of the stuff that you can prevent from happening, and you know, and when you're working in the springtime and stuff breaks, or you know, hey, I got to get an oil change or something like that, you should have done it now, huh, Tim?
Right.
So let's talk about the four-wheeler real quick. Yeah, what's some of the things?
First, with my business, I run over a lot of multiple roses, so you always want to check your tires, check for leaks. You could always use a goop or a tire plug. You could check if it's a four-wheel drive, check your CV joints up front, your axles. Make sure the boots aren't ripped or torn. If they are, either fill it with grease, or just replace a whole new axle. And I would take that to the shop. It's a little more work.
Yeah.
But what I
don't even know what a CV was.
Right. What I try to do is I go over the whole vehicle. What I can't fix, at least I could take it to the shop and say, here is what needs fixed, rather than, here, look at my vehicle, what do I need to do?
Yeah.
You know, if you wait till spring, you're going to be wanting to start your food plots, and now your pull starting that. Eventually that rope's going to tear. And then what are you going to do? So get it fixed now in the winter time. That's the best thing to do.
Okay.
Other than that, oil and filters. Much is
and if you know how to do that stuff, you know, do it yourself.
Easy, so.
All right, Tim, let's move on to the chainsaws, be the next, you know, thing that we need to talk about. What are some of the things that you can do, once again, to save the cost of obviously something breaking down, or take it to a chainsaw place to get maintenance and fixed and everything else?
You could do it with a file, or you could just take it to a shop and they'll do it like for $5, and they'll do it within 5-10 minutes. So you can just wait at the shop for that. You buy a new chain, that's pretty easy.
And a lot of those places, I know the places that we deal with, they always have like a lot of deals, especially if you build a relationship up with, you know, the chainsaw place. I mean, you are a deer manager, you know, you're going to be in and out of these places, and you build a relationship, and I know we get, you know, not necessarily freebies by any stretch of the mean, but hey, 2-for-1 type stuff.
Yeah, and another thing I do with the chainsaw is I like to take a paintbrush, some gasoline, just clean all this stuff up, maybe some parts cleaner, degreaser. Gas and oil, that's pretty much easy. But another thing I like to do is I like to take some metal protector when it's in storage and just spray over the chain just to keep it from rusting.
What kind of metal protector? Just simple metal protector?
Yeah,
I mean, you can buy that as
WD-40, it could be anything. Just a metal protector.
Okay.
But that's pretty much it with a chainsaw.
How about the sprayers? You know, we use these things in the spring and, you know, in summer and fall, and then, you know, we maybe just clean it just because we're in a rush and stuff, but, you know, a lot of stuff can go wrong with all this stuff.
Especially winter storage. You want to try to tear all your hoses off, your pump out, And if you have a garage that's not heated, it is going to freeze in there.
Yeah.
So I like to take my pump inside. You can leave the hoses and stuff outside, but drain all the hoses out. Clean out your nozzles, your filters. And when it comes to cleaning, either use a liquid soap or a neutralizer, depending on what spray you use.
To get all that herbicide out of it and then stuff like that. Now I tell you what, you real quick, is you mentioned, stuff will freeze. These things are, Tractor Supply and stuff like that, these things are not made to last forever. And every little thing that you can do, I mean, they're not throwaways, but they are throwaway type equipment. And I've had this plastic just crack because I didn't drain it properly. And but the big thing too is the nozzles. We sit there and we hook these things up come springtime, and all that sediment and the screen and stuff, you're sitting there spraying and you look back and one thing's squirting out this way, one thing's squirting out that. The big thing is do it now. You have to do it now. Another thing in the off season that we really like to do is do some camera survey work. And I'm not talking about survey work that you go out there and inventory your deer population. I'm talking about inventorying your deer herd in the sense of their health. Who's wounded, who has a broken leg, who has a missing leg, stuff like that. So that way you can better manage your deer herd. We use the cameras a lot in the off season. Luckily in Ohio we can use corn as bait. And it's a great tool to put the camera up on, and obviously deer are attracted to corn. And also too, along with the shed hunting aspect of things, it allows us to, the camera allows us to see when the antlers are starting to drop. That way we're not in such a hurry to get out there and push those deer off the property and look for those antlers. Put some fresh batteries in there. Cold season up north, the battery life is a little bit lower, so get fresh batteries in your camera and put them out there, once a week or something like that. It's just another great tool to use in the off season to manage your deer herd. So. The times that you were in a tree stand complaining that, all you're seeing is 1.5-year-old deer, or your neighbors, you're hearing the neighbors or the local community, they're killing small deer, but you're friends with them, or you might know a couple of them, and you might complain or vent to some of your closer friends, but you know what? This is a community project. You cannot, in the state of Ohio, you don't own enough land. You got to join forces, and I tell you what, the power of QDM, bringing people together, and I mean, it's what we're supposed to do, love thy neighbor. I mean, it's just, it brings people together, and all it is what's it take for that first step?
It's just a matter of going door to door, saying, hey, I have 40 acres, you have 40 acres, let's combine all our neighbors and make 1,000 acres, 2,000 acres, and make a big block where we're just passing yearling bucks, shooting those does, and getting the QDM philosophy out there. That way we can start harvesting bigger deer. It's going to take a couple years.
It takes, I tell you what, I've been in, and you as well, we've been in those QDM co-ops when they first start. There might be, it's funny, like 60 people the first one, and you sit there and you try, and then the next one there's like 5. But I tell you what, within 5 years, I'm telling you what, amazing transformation. One thing about QDM, I mean, especially, this township right here in Ohio is Clark Township. I mean, they even have signs, Clark Township in northern Coshocton County. They had trespassing problems. I'm telling you what, stopped it, because everybody's eyes were on the poacher, the poaching, and it stopped. Joining forces, it's just not so much about harvesting deer, it's bringing people together with lime, fertilizer, et cetera, sharing costs. But the big thing is a friendship, and also stop poaching, and stuff. And just one other thing in the off season to start looking forward to and start doing is, getting out there and start spreading the word to people that might be interested, and you're going to pick up some new friends. So. Well, hopefully we helped you out today, showing just a couple quick things what you could be doing in the off season and keep your deer program going, from camera survey work to maintenance on your equipment to get it ready, come planting season for spring. Doing your number one thing, native vegetation, going out there and pre-evaluating your wildlife opening sites and stuff like that. And also, QDM co-ops. If you don't have a co-op, contact the QDMA itself. Step up to the plate. Be a leader. If you love this QDM or this deer management stuff, spread the word. Get involved. And it's as easy as that. And contact us at Drummond Log Wildlife Management. We can really help you out with the QDM co-op, getting them started. We do a lot of seminars throughout the country and willing to go everywhere. Also with the consulting, we can help you lay out those wildlife openings, the food plot stuff. There's a lot to deer management. None of it's brain surgery, but it's a lot easier and more effective if you have someone helping you along the way. And as always, as my grandpa used to say, no hurry, no worry, keep moving.
See you next time
On Reality Deer Management.
Reality Deer Management was brought to you by Kaufman Realty and Auctions, Base Camp Leasing, Solberg Scouting Cameras, Modern Habitat Solutions, Hillcrest Lumber, Holmes Laboratory, Sagara Fishing Lures, Woodbury Outfitters, Merit Seed,